or it's how I use my mouse on my computer. So I wish I was cool enough to just like wear these glasses, but I'm not.
I think they look cool anyway, so you're good.
Okay, thanks. They're a little messed up though, because my corgi puppy chewed on them for an afternoon. Hey, could I? I'm gonna play a little bit, and could y'all let me know if it's loud enough for you? Good, or should it be louder? Okay, good. Got some new stuff here.
Where the volume should this be?
I think that's good. You in the right scale and all that?
Yeah.
Groovy. You ready to start?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
overload.
That's too much truth.
Yeah. The last male northern white rhino, his name
thanks, you too. If you want a flyer and we didn't get it around to you, I guess come talk to me and I could help you find, help give you the information. Basically, there's the conservatory where he lived his last years is on there. That's where his daughter and granddaughter still live, as well as some other rhinos. And there's another organization listed there that you can support, which helps rhinos and other wildlife in Africa. So this next piece, we are bringing up Spirit Thom to perform with us.
But it all started with stories. You know how you have stories. They're taken from your life, like a chapter of your life. And the best stories are the true stories. So this is a true story, and you don't have to believe me. It actually happened. I worked for a Greek after hours, after school, and he said, will you help me build a rest home? I said, no, I don't want to do a jackhammer. I'm 14. I don't want to do a jackhammer. He said, I'll give you $1 an hour. I said, I'll jackhammer. So after school, after hours, I was there, and he paid me not just $1 an hour, he paid me in stories. And these stories, he told me that he played in the Acropolis during the Second World War. As a child, he played in the Acropolis, in the ruins of the Greek classical past. And I was agape. I could not believe that he was so close to something that mattered so much to me. He said, you know about the Greeks, don't you? And I said, nothing, not even Aristotle. He said, let me tell you about some of the Greeks. His name was Papadopoulos. He had to shorten it to Papas because of the Anglo-Saxon necessity for shortness and brevity. But this is a long story, and a true story too, because it took all my time. He would sit me down at the table, feed me feta and olives, and tell me stories. He said, do you know about Greek oratory? Oh, I said, yeah, sure. They used to visualize a room, and they'd have part of the speech in this room, in this corner, and they go to that in their mind, and they pick up that part of the speech, then they go to the other corner, and they do the same, and they do the same all around. He said, yeah, but Demosthenes, do you know that he had a speech impediment? I said, what? He's the greatest Greek orator, and he had a speech impediment? Yeah, and he solved it by putting pebbles in his mouth and making himself articulate the sounds slowly and well so people could hear the stories he would tell. Oh, I see. Do you know about Pythagoras? I said, yeah, sure. The sum of the square on the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square on the two. He said, no, you don't understand. Pythagoras was a bit of an eccentric. He lived in a cave. People used to laugh at him. That's Pythagoras. His name was taken from the place where he lived. He lived in a cave, and he was called Pythagora, place of red mud. Pith, red mud, agora, place of. Oh, I said, etymologically speaking, is that what you mean? He said, what about Socrates? Do you know what you know about Socrates? I said, the gadfly. He had poison, taking the hemlock for corrupting Athenian youth. Free speech, yeah. Oh, not just that. You see, Socrates was bisexual or trisexual, and he would come out after carousing with the young boys of Athens. He'd come home, he had 2 wives, and one of them was a shrew called Xanthippus. And she did not like him carousing with the boys. So when he'd come home late, she'd empty the piss pot on his head. That brought philosophy down to the ground for me. That brought Greek culture right to the core of the bone and body, and I realized then that we are part of a living tradition. We're part of a storytelling tradition. And the stories come from our lives, in our time. And they're as wondrous as the Greek stories are, and as wondrous as every civilization is, because every story is true if you believe it.
Thanks, Tom.
Woo!